I've been out the last couple weeks, and I thought I was going to be missing today, but I got enough voice back to fumble through this program. So bear with me. Who are we going to kick the program off with today, Josh?
Let's head on over to Davenport, where Michael's got a question about his 2015 GMC Terrain. Go ahead, Michael.
Hello. I have a 2015 Terrain, and I was told it needs a fuel pressure sensor. And when I go to shops, I get different talk from somebody says I got two of them, a low pressure, one in a high pressure one. Somebody says I got one in the fuel pump and one in the front of the car. I got people that tell me that they're going to have to take the whole engine apart because you can't get to it. I was wondering if you could tell me of the truth about a pressure sensor for my fuel. Yeah.
Okay. Michael, you have two fuel systems on that car. One of them is a supply system, and that would be considered the low pressure system. It's going to be operating in the neighborhood of about 35 to 40 pounds, somewhere around in there. Now, you got your high pressure system. Now, the high pressure system is for your direct fuel injection system. Now, that has its own mechanical pump, and that produces about 22 to 2,300 pounds of fuel pressure at the injectors itself. And then when they open up electronically, that's what drives that high pressure fuel into your cylinders during compression stroke. So that gasoline is directly injected into the cylinder as opposed to being directed in front of an intake valve like they used to. Now, either one of those systems can go bad, and it can give you a low fuel pressure sensor issue, and you have both systems on there. So a person with like a Tech 2 scan tool, which is the same thing we use as GM uses, and we also use a laptop version of that as well. But the thing is, it's going to take. This isn't like going to 7-Eleven and getting your car fixed anymore. It's going to have some sophisticated equipment hooked to it, and really to get the answers that you need. And when I say that is, a technician is going to have to hook this up to the vehicle. He's going to have to scan the computer system, and he's going to have to sit there and he's going to have to look and see what these sensors are actually reading. Just because you got a code doesn't really mean anything. You have to be able to sit there and evaluate the data stream, look at the values that these sensors are actually emitting, so that way you can see exactly if there's a problem with a sensor or whether there's a problem with a fuel pump. It's not the end of the world, regardless of what it is. I mean, it's a GM vehicle. We can get parts for it. That's the bottom line, but it's going to need to have a little scanning. And the most important thing, I know you're in Davenport, that's a ways from the shop, but it's kind of like this. You need talent. You need experience in order to get it diagnosed correctly, and to not have somebody come up to you and say, well, you needed this whole entire bushel basket full of parts. So the diagnostic part of this is the most important thing. And if the person that maybe did a scan on it and got a code, and that's about as far as you got at this point, you really haven't gotten very far. It's going to have some diag work done on it, and with some pretty sophisticated scan equipment in order to really be able to communicate with your computer system. And then you can get some valid information. You know exactly what you're dealing with. And there may even have to be a couple tests performed in order to really be able to diagnose it 100%. But while I'm on the subject, not just with your vehicle, but any of these direct injected engines, I don't care where it's a GM, a Ford, or a Hyundai. Folks, the biggest thing with these nowadays is these injectors will keep working even when they're bad. And when I say that, what happens is you'll start getting misfires and stuff like that. The engine's not performing 100%. And what folks will do is they'll take them in, a mechanic, he's going to throw spark plugs in it and maybe some coils or whatever and send you on your way with the same problem you came in with. What I want you to understand is if these engines are not running 100% correctly, it usually means that there's an injector, one of these direct injectors, that is literally, you got to think about it, this injector is actually in the cylinder, in the engine, where all the combustion and fire and pressure, everything is taking place. So the tips of them over a period of time will almost get welded over. And when this happens, it restricts the fuel coming out of them, and it causes the cylinder to go lean. And when it goes lean inside of a cylinder means extremely hot. And I mean, I'm talking torch hot. So it burns valves, causes gaskets to deteriorate. It can even cause piston and cylinder wall damage, even block damage over running an engine too lean. So, you know, if you got a misfire or if it's not running 100%, you notice that all the power's not there. Unlike years ago, well, it's probably just a bad spark plug. It didn't hurt anything. Nowadays, it will fry your motor if it's not running 100% correctly. So if it's running bad and you got a check engine light on, don't ignore it, because it could actually cost you a whole entire engine over one stupid fuel injector. So heed my warning when it comes to that. You know, giving one a good tune-up over a misfire or not running good, that's part of the course. But if you still have the problem after that, it's time to really get involved with it and get some serious diagnostic work done to it before you wind up burning valves and causing yourself a whole lot of grief and some very, very, very expensive repairs. Michael, I hope that helps you, and we wish you the best of luck and have a happy new year. Thanks for tuning in to the Magic Mechanic Radio Show and, of course, our new YouTube channel. For more automotive tips, tricks, and just general information, make sure you subscribe to our new YouTube channel.